Hello there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood trash man, and this is the Garbage Grab, where we talk about all things unsavory as far as the fantasy world goes. What I mean is players who you're not going to hear about very often in other fantasy format shows, just because they aren't players that are especially interesting or exciting, except to us. Trash treasurers. Those of us who like to scour the waiver wires and find the guys who are going to help us to dominate in our leagues on any given week. I'm here on behalf of RosterWatch.com, where we have all the fantasy information you will ever need to dominate your leagues from the draft throughout the championships. And that's where we're headed, right? Today I'm going to be talking about pass catching backs. These are guys who may not be the bell cows that are going to carry your team throughout the season, but at least in PPR formats, these are going to be guys who can hopefully consistently produce for you every given Sunday. So let's get into it. First play I'm going to be talking about, really interesting situation right now actually for him in Dallas, is Tony Pollard, pass catching back for the Dallas Cowboys. It's especially interesting because Ezekiel Elliott is still holding out, and it looks to be the case that he will hold out until he gets the deal that he wants. And if last year with Le'Veon Bell was any indication of what can happen in a situation like this, things can get kind of scary for those Ezekiel Elliott owners. So you're going to want to get some insurance for him. Alfred Morris has been added in the last week, but he's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Tony Pollard, on the other hand, is young. He's decently sized, 6 foot, 210 pounds, got wheels, 4.42 40 at his pro day, and he knows how to move with the ball in his hand. He tied an FBS record for 7 touchdowns returned for kicks over 3 seasons. So he's going to be a guy who can be used on special teams as well. Pass catching back, maybe they might line him up out of the slot occasionally too. We've seen a little bit of that from him thus far. He's going to be a guy, if Ezekiel Elliott does not join the team early in the season or even at all in the season, he's going to hold a lot of value there for him. You can get him dirt cheap right now, so pick him up where you can. Up next, we have a former teammate of Tony Pollard's at Memphis, and that is Darrell Henderson of the Los Angeles Rams. We know that Todd Gurley isn't the back that he used to be. He may never be that back again. So he's probably going to be spelled early and often this season, and Henderson's going to be one of the main guys to spell him, along with Malcolm Brown, who isn't quite the pass catcher that Darrell Henderson is. And in the high-octane offense that the Rams have, you're going to want to have a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield. And Darrell Henderson is that type of player. In fact, he's been referred to as a Chris Thompson type by the team. And we know that former ex-Redskins offensive coordinator Sean McVay is really familiar with Chris Thompson types. In fact, he's really familiar with Chris Thompson. And if Darrell Henderson is anything like Chris Thompson, he's going to be somebody who McVay will implement into the passing game productively. So he's also another player that you can get pretty dirt cheap right now, so pick him up where you can, especially in dynasty formats. Up next, we have Tarik Cohen of the Chicago Bears. Truth be told, Cohen may not have as many carries this season as he had last year. He had 99 carries last year, basically because it was just him and Jordan Howard in the backfield mainly. This year, Howard is no longer there, but they have added Mike Davis. They have picked up David Montgomery, who's an exciting rookie. Both of those guys are more or less first 2 down backs. Mike Davis can catch the ball, we do know that. But Tarik Cohen is going to catch a lot of passes. In fact, I think he might catch more passes than he did last season. He had 71 receptions last season. I think they're going to line him up as a receiver. I think they're going to move him all around the field. He's arguably their most dynamic player aside from Anthony Miller. I mean, they're neck and neck, if the past has been any indication. So, Tarik Cohen, I think he's still going to be safe for PPR leagues. I think he'll be a little less consistent for standard formats, but that's not where we're banking on him anyways. We're banking on him in those leagues where we get points for receptions, and he's going to do that in spades. Up next, I'd say it was an oldie but a goodie, but he's not that old. He's just been really productive in the league since he's been a player in it. Don't have a picture yet of him in a 49ers uniform, so I have a picture of him burning some 49ers. That's Tevin Coleman, formerly of the Falcons, now of the San Francisco 49ers. He actually has a leg up to be the starting running back for the 49ers, but we also know he's a really productive pass-catching back. And so, along with perhaps first two down duties in San Francisco, he's going to be the guy catching a lot of passes for the 49ers out of the backfield. We know that Matt Breida's not really a pass-catching back. Jerick McKinnon can catch passes, but he's been a little bit iffy with injury. We don't know how he's going to start the season. And Coleman's a better pass catcher. So you can still get Coleman fairly late, considering what I think you're going to be able to get out of him in fantasy. I think he could put up RB2 numbers, sometimes RB1 numbers on a good day. But you can draft him now as an RB3, RB4 in a lot of formats. So pick him up where you can. That's Tevin Coleman. Last but not least, for my NFC pass catching backs, is somebody we've mentioned already on the cast, and that is Chris Thompson of the Washington Redskins. Now, he's coming off of a injury-plagued season, to say the least, but it seems like he's as healthy as he's ever been. In fact, he said recently that he's as healthy as he's ever been. The main reason I added Chris Thompson here, even though Darius Geis is there, even though Adrian Peterson is there in the backfield, is that they're probably going to be playing with a rookie quarterback under center for much of the season in Dwayne Haskins. So he's going to be dumping the ball off quite a bit in that case, probably. And the Redskins, just have a weak receiving core. I mean, Josh Doxson, if he's your number one, then you have a little bit to worry about. Paul Richardson is there as well. And there's the Quinn kid out of the slot. But Chris Thompson, Old Faithful, he's going to catch passes. He's going to be very involved in that offense, especially if they have a young quarterback, especially if they have any of those quarterbacks that they have back there. None of them can throw the ball that far except for Haskins. And in his first year, he's probably not going to do that often, at least not to great effect. So Chris Thompson, I think, is somebody that you're going to be able to add late, and he's still going to be productive for you as long as he is healthy. Anyways, these are my grimy pass-catching backs, all except for maybe Tevin Coleman for the NFC, who you're going to be able to get later than I think they're actually going to be valued during the season. On my next installment, I'll be talking about the AFC pass-catching backs, who you can do the same thing with. There are quite a few more of those. Anyways, this is the Garbage Grab, and this is the Trash Man on behalf of RosterWatch.com. Give us a follow at RosterWatch. Give us a join at RosterWatch.com, where a membership is cheaper than a cheap cup of coffee. At least that's what I heard. I don't really drink coffee, but I hear that it's about the going rate for it. Either way, it's really cheap, and it's going to help you win your fantasy leagues. Anyways, until next time, be ready.